a musician, an author, a person who leads various workshops, a person who decided to leave his country and to come to Poland. And he's here right now. Another guest that we're having here with us in Dada Hotel. He is an original person. He's an artist. He does a lot of things. And most of all, he enjoys it. Welcome, Ayal Elbaz. Hello.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Ayal.
Thank you. Good to be here.
I'm very happy that you agreed to have this conversation, to have this talk with me. I got very curious when I saw you for the first time in Kraków. Practically, you came here to this place and you wanted to organize an event. And you were so spontaneous and open. Then we got to know that you've written a book. And every time when I see people, I get amazed by them, especially because they show a variety of talents. And for sure, you're such a person. And you're a person we are looking for to emphasize their personality, to show the way that they are. And for sure, for me, it's always inspiring to get to know such people. That you are like a lot of people in one person. Like you have a lot of personalities as an author, as a musician, as an author. I don't know if you have ever written a song, but probably you did. That's what I remembered. I think I remember well. Yes. And at the same time, recently you've had the idea of writing a book. It's about femininity.
Indeed. I am a musician. I've been a musician for many years. I've delivered many workshops about many subjects. I've done various things. And I became very concerned about what I had started to see approximately 15-20 years ago with regard to the state of womanhood, femininity, masculinity, man and a woman, and relationships and loss of values, high numbers of divorces and breakups in single parent homes. And so one of the reasons I came to live here and stay here was that women here are very feminine, they're very woman. And men are men. There's a separation like it used to be in the past.
You mean like Slavic culture?
Yes. It was a revelation to me, because in the Western world it almost doesn't exist anymore, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful when man is a man, a woman is a woman. Man respects women, and women are naturally elevated and are placed in a place they are naturally supposed to be. Maybe even a little bit higher than a man, because it's a beautiful creature.
Wait a minute, like, as far as I understood, you want to create a certain distinction between man and a woman, and it's obvious that it's like that because there are differences. Sure. But at the same time, because nowadays women, they want to be more masculine because they want to have equal rights, they want to be at the same level. So, but isn't it that they don't lose femininity in this way?
That's exactly the point. Women try to be like men, and
that's good.
In various things, of course. You have to have the same rights and opportunities. Completely. It was ridiculous up until 100 years ago. Women was considered to be a second-rate citizen. It's completely. I cannot fathom and believe how man could have treated women, this beautiful creature, up until 100 years ago. She couldn't vote, she couldn't do this. Well, it's crazy, of course, but women has achieved that with the first and second wave of femininity. Women have achieved that, but the third wave of femininity, that started in the 70s, has crossed the line, because it's not about rights and opportunities anymore. It's about be like a man. Men can do this, men can say this, and be avoided, is not going to be scrutinized for it. Why do we have to be, why can't we say this? Why can't we have sex with 20 men like men can? Why can't we just use foul language and drink and get drunk and stuff like that? But the problem is that women bemoaned, complained, hated that behavior of men for millennia upon millennia, because this behavior is men. When men goes and have sex with many women, we look at him as immature.
Like it's mannish.
It's mannish. It's immature. It's animalistic. When men thinks with his, private parts, we know how low and demeaning these instincts and urges are. And women looked at them the way they were, low and bad. But now now they've forgotten that it was bad and frowned upon.
Practically, that's the origin of your book. Like
yes.
You thought all those things, and then you decided, all right, so I will write a book about it.
Yes.
But the title is very romantic, like The Art of Femininity.
Sure.
So where is the place in all your book? Where is the place in this book to condemn such women behavior?
Exactly, it's a great question. The title of the book is The Lost Art of Femininity. Femininity for me is a type of the lost art of femininity. Femininity for me is a type of art, and I explain in the book. I take the time, and there's a chapter dedicated to the anatomy of.
Can I get the book, because we
Please.
have it here in the studio,
Yes.
and that's a very picturesque cover, like a very romantic picture. With a woman, and it's of course The Lost Art of Femininity, which I forgot to mention, but that's the entire title. And practically you wrote a lot. Like there are
Yes.
300 pages, which, as for your first book, it's like your first book, and you already wrote so much in such an extended way.
Yes.
I see like several chapters. Wow. And the beginning is, what is a female? That's the question that I really would like to hear the answer for.
Well, it's very simple, very basic. To go back to the art, firstly, I describe and analyze the anatomy, the physical anatomy of femininity, the manifestation in movement, thoughts, behavior, everything, and why femininity is as close as we can get to art. Because a graceful, classy woman is almost like, it's an art form. It's the best we can do as humans in the physical shape we have. The best way we can be, move, walk, behave is femininity. That's why we conceived of that idea. Because we have an aesthetic mind. We are all artists in some form or another. And the ideal way to move, to behave, was conceived by us and always regarded as this classy, graceful way. Woman was always looked upon as a beautiful creature that is graceful and is almost like art.
But isn't it a prison for us women, so that the world demand from us a certain behavior, that we have to be perfect, that we have to be so, even like so tidy, so perfect, exactly. Because sometimes I have felt as a woman that society was demanding from me to be perfect. And to tell you the truth, I get tired of being perfect, and I just wanted to be mannish sometimes, and I wanted to be crazy sometimes. Maybe not to such an extent that you mentioned,
yes.
But still. So what about this? Like, isn't it a prison for a woman nowadays in 21st century to be so perfect?
Completely understand your point. Not at all. I mean, it has to come from you, from within, not from pressure. Pressure is ridiculous, of course. But listen, society is not perfect. Society expects different things from different people. Society expects from men to be men. Society expects from us to dress or to have some clothes on when we walk in the streets, not to spit on the street, not to speak in foul language in public places. So we all have expectations, you know. The thing is how you look at it, how you do you agree with that? Do you not? And in recent times, women, like you said, just want to shed it off, all this pressure and stuff like that. But like an art form, like every creation, it takes time and effort. Like we dress well, it takes time to dress well, to put your makeup on, yes? We make an effort. It's the same thing. We make an effort to behave and be graceful and classic. To what degree, it's up to you. But for me, I wanted women to know that they're naturally beautiful and superior to men in almost any aspect of life. They are superior to men, and that they have this beautiful natural. They don't have to look to be strong and powerful and rough and tough.
At all cost.
No, gentle, delicate. is stronger than strong. Everybody prefers a pat on the hand than a slap across the face.
Sure. So how is the book structured? What is the main idea apart from the admiration for women themselves?
Which I always had.
What was the plot? Like, what is like? Okay, I will say, frankly, says like honestly, I haven't read the book yet, but I intend to, of course.
Yes.
Especially by the title, I feel tempted to go deeper into the subject. But let's say that someone wants to read your book. How would you encourage us to read it, and how is it like?
Well, first of all, you asked before. The book starts with what a female is. What is a female? A female, basically, quickly, female is a person who has two X's chromosomes in the sex. The sex chromosome is comprised of two X chromosomes. Mm-hmm. A man, a boy, is X and Y.
Yeah.
Now, these chromosomes are in each and every each and every cell in our body. You cannot change your physicality or do something or take hormones and become a boy or a girl. It's really imprinted in your genes. So every cell in your body is either a man cell or a woman cell. So that's the basic definition of a woman. A woman has two X's, sex chromosomes, and a boy has X and Y. So I explain basically what I explained before. I pitch the book to people as like women have gone too far and they want to be like men in each and every level, and they've forgotten that many ways that men behave today are not good, are not virtuous.
But didn't you think that it was like the response of women who were condemned for years, who have been condemned, who have been treated in a bad way, and that's why they opposed, and that's why they had to revolutionize their existence in such an extreme way. So that's where all the revolution begins.
Completely.
So don't you think that it was a natural reaction from us, from women, to fight for our rights, to be like at the same level of men who imposed those, let's say, bad behaviors in the system?
Completely. I don't blame anyone. This book is not about blaming. I completely understand. I'm just saying, take a step back. Like, for instance, if somebody comes on the street and attacks you vulgarly and aggressively, say, you bloody da.
Censorship.
You can become like him.
Sure.
Or you could be just completely mature and graceful and say,
I know.
Sir, okay, I understand, bye-bye, thank you, good day, and continue.
Like, go beyond and not to lower yourself to their level.
Exactly. So which behavior do we condone, support more? We condone and support more the mature behavior, yes? That's exactly the same with femininity. You can go and have sex with 20 men, that's fine. Will you feel good about it?
But this is an extreme example, don't you think?
It's not. Not in the Western world. Not in the Western world. It's not even about sex. It's about treating relationship as just a phase, or I have to have 5 or 6 before I settle down, or I can talk and move and drink like a man. I can think. It's many things. So many women in the Western world are not completely men, of course, but they moved away from being really graceful, really classic, to in a place in between man and a woman. So it's very hard to find women today that are as graceful as Grace Kelly, for instance. Excuse the pun, Grace Kelly, but or Audrey Hepburn, all those beautiful, beautiful, classy women that we always adored.
Yeah, like being a classy woman is something that you don't learn immediately. It's something that you make perfect over years. And I think that certain attitudes, certain intellectual background or cultural background at a person has been created through generations. Like it's a challenge. Like not everybody has it, but don't you think that somehow it can be learned? And didn't you explain it in the book? Like,
yes.
How can we women learn to be classy and so perfect?
Yeah, but basically it's almost an innate quality that you have. It's not innate, you're not born with it, but it's almost innate because you have this generation upon generations of women that are behaving more like a woman. So when the girl is growing up in a society, the women are more women. But today, girls are growing up in societies where women are less women. So it's going to be very hard for her to become Grace Kelly all of a sudden, yes? I'm just giving an example of Grace Kelly. You're a graceful woman. Many Slavic women are graceful. This is beautiful. It's just because you have, you perceive yourself in a different way, and you don't need to be strong. That's what's beautiful about mostly the Slavic societies, because the men treat women in a gentlemanly way, and the woman in Poland, for instance, specifically in Poland, is placed a little bit higher than men naturally, and she doesn't have to try to be strong. And that's the beautiful balance that you have here. You don't try to be strong. You are strong. You don't even think about it. And that's the most beautiful thing to be. Natural. You're naturally woman, naturally man. And
that's very good to hear, because actually as a woman and being a Polish woman leads you to certain experience, right? And I have to say that I've witnessed a lot of comments from Polish men that, oh, you want to be so independent, you want to be so strong, but at the same time you want to be treated as a fragile little girl. Oh, my dear, you can't have everything, to be treated as a little girl and as a princess and at the same time be so strong. So I've heard it from some Polish men, which is a paradox maybe, because of course I know a lot of Polish men who are gentlemen and they treat women like they should be treated, so like a lady. But at the same time there's this contradiction, like, oh, you want to be treated as princess, but at the same time you're a strong woman, so you don't need to be treated as a princess or as such a little girl.
That's a misunderstanding of the whole subject, but we are going through very strange and difficult times now, because everything is changing and women are asking themselves, I want to be independent, but I want to be womanly as well and graceful. So it's very hard on women, it's very hard on men. Men become emasculine. Men become less men because women are much stronger in these days. So we actually destroy society like that. We completely reverse the roles in a way. But basically a woman should and could be independent. It's nothing to do with independence, being graceful. You can do anything, just the way you do it.
You can combine these two things.
Of course, beautiful. Be independent. You feel good about yourself. But don't forget, don't be too independent. It's not about femininity, masculinity. When a man is too independent, when a woman is too independent, like we have many today, we don't have duality anymore. We don't have relationships. There is a fine line that we cross, and many people cross between independence but still together to I don't really need you. I can do it by myself. And many people go to that direction today for various reasons. I don't blame them. But we really have to keep it in line. Otherwise, we're going to lose the family unit. We'll lose everything. I write a lot about the family unit here. It's extremely important. No society can exist and sustain itself without family unit. And there's a big chapters of relationships, how to sustain them and make any relationship better. Really great things about relationship.
I really feel like reading the book. Femininity is as far from weakness as muscles are from wit. I really think I will read all the book after our conversation.
This book is for you.
I think I will feel like rediscovering my lost probably femininity. So I've started to recommend already the book after what you told me. So for sure it's on my to-do list to read this book. And I wish you that you write the second one, so that you are so active in this field, among other fields.
I have the idea. It's going to be about men.
About men?
Yes.
But women are more.
No, that will forever be.
That's for sure.
Will forever be.
And I've had a certain association that by talking to you, I feel like I'm with a therapist, because you have this flow of speaking, and then I calm myself down. I don't know why it's so.
It's good to hear. Thank you. I have been a therapist for many years.
Really?
Yes, I've started.
This thing I didn't know.
It's a surprise. We actually never spoken about it. But I started in 1999 or 2000 actually.
Wow.
Yes. It changed my life. I went into that type of therapy myself because I was looking for some answers. And I found the answers. And then I decided to, why not help people and make a living at the same time? And it was awesome. I'm not currently doing it because of the language barrier here in Poland. But I had some people here, patients or just people that came to therapy here as well. So yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful therapy and it really helps. And
were you following a special path, a special method while being a psychotherapist?
It's not psychotherapist, it's called Scientology. Many people have heard. Scientology, you've heard. And Dianetics is the basic of Scientology. And I do Dianetics at home or it's privately. You can do it privately, of course. You follow certain guys, of course. And it's just beautiful. There's a lot of bad stuff about Scientology out there, but it's...
Let's introduce a little bit the concept of Scientology. So what it is like exactly and what it is indeed, Scientology.
Great question. Scientology is from two words, skio and logos. In Latin means to know how to know. It means to regain the knowledge about yourself, life, universes, other people, relations, everything. To really know.
So philosophy of self-growth, self-improvement?
Yes, but it's actually very practical. For Scientology, it's all about 100% practicality. There's no philosophy in it. Well, there's higher, but it's practicality. It's about making you... Basically, it's get rid of all your past traumatic events from this life and past lives. And through that, this is one aspect of it, through that let you regain your powers as a spirit, and your ability to be happy and healthy and to live in a society as a free and honest man or woman. And the basic tenets of Scientology is that we are all spirits. We are basically good. We have a mind, which is basically a mechanism of pictures that the spirit, which is not tangible, is not physical, lives in a physical universe, and it wants to operate a body and live in a physical universe. So it takes pictures of everything that it experiences, the spirit experiences. And this accumulative mechanism is the mind. So every second of our life we take pictures, 3D, with all senses, concepts, thoughts, feelings, everything, and it's stored in this thing called mind. And we have the body, which is affected by the mind, which is affected by the spirit, by us directly. And it's a very complex thing, but once you know what to do and how to get there, you can help anyone and immensely. It's amazing. And basically, when we die, not the spirit, we move and take another body. That's basically one of the main
not
ideas.
The spirit, but
no, we don't have a spirit. You are a spirit.
We entirely incorporate in another body, so it's like
you are the spirit. You don't have a spirit. Right. When people say I have a spirit, they actually say two things. I, a spirit. What is I? People never thought about it in past ages. You know, all religions say you have a spirit. It's two things. No, we are the spirit. We leave this body with our mind, with all our experiences, and we go to another body.
With our consciousness.
Yes, we forget. We obviously we forget, but there are mechanisms that do that, and we explain everything in Scientology. It's really beautiful.
You're playing the guitar.
Yes, my passion.
It's your passion, but I've heard that you're making a living out of it. Of course, during pandemic time, it's difficult to live as an artist.
Yes.
But before pandemic times, you were earning money as a musician, as a guitar player, and you have been a singer too.
Yes, I am a singer. I'm not a great singer, but I can carry a tune. And yes, I've been doing that for almost 7 years. It's been wonderful, incredible.
7 years of career here in Poland, practically. Yes. Because you've been here, I have to remind myself, you have been in Poland for 7 years, right?
Over 7 years now.
Right.
And it's been awesome. I came here with the intention of becoming a full-time musician. And I managed to do that. People love music here, appreciate that. And I have a few projects, mainly a trio, band, and a duo. And we've been doing very well. We've been playing, averaging 4 or 5 shows a week for over 6.5 years. And some weeks have been very busy, 7, 8 shows, and so it's great. It's been great.
What kind of music do you play? And
we play mainly covers because my own music is not going to bring the bacon. Meaning people not going to come and pay and see that. Really, it's hard to make a living of your own music. So we play covers. We play classics from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all the famous songs in English that people know.
You're a big fan of rock and roll.
Yeah, anything to do with instrumentation, let's say that. Anything which is played by real instruments. Up until 89, that was an amazing era. After that, there were great bands as well, but I usually play the classics,
We will share the links for your music, and for sure we will give all the information about your trio and about other initiatives you're involved in. So Ayal Elbaz, he was my special guest tonight. I'm looking forward to hearing from you as an artist, and I get very curious about Ayal's project. So for sure we will be in touch with his work, and we will be following his career. So good luck from all my heart. Thank you very much for the conversation.
Thank you very much for the interview. I had a good time. Thanks. Appreciate that. Well, actually,
when did your career started?
It would sound a little bit strange, but actually, when I was 2 years and 10 months old, actually.
Oh, really?
Just before I
You're
was
a genius.
3, I actually remember the time I decided to
become a writer.
I'd like to become a musician first.
Really?
It's a new thing in the writing. It's just.
I thought that you were making a joke. No, when I was 3, I already knew that I wanted to write a book.
No, but it was true about the music.
And we are not always able to fulfill our dreams, unfortunately. And it seems that you did, so
almost.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. I was aiming to become famous.
You're still aiming at becoming famous.
Exactly, so there's still a way to go.
At least in Kraków.
No, worldwide.